Awesome round today, Taylor. You put yourself into the mix for the weekend. Just thoughts on your round today.
Fun. It was obviously a fun day. Anytime you shoot I think 7 under bogey free on PGA Tour, you've done some good, and it was just capped off by the birdie on 16 and getting everyone hyped up. So that was fun.
Yeah, what was the energy like when you had that birdie on 16?
There's nothing like it in golf. We all know it. It's such a cliche, but it's so true. There's nothing like it, and it's the only time you feel like you're at Lambeau Field or somewhere that's not golf. So it's a fun energy, and it gets you hyped up.
I was just ask you the same thing. Is there a comment? A lot of times it's just kind of white noise. Is there a comment that has sort of stood out above the others, or an outfit that you've seen maybe on 16?
Well, with a last name like Gooch, there's a few comments that you get. The best outfit that I've seen, it was actually not from this year. It was 2 years ago maybe, and I actually didn't see it on 16, but I saw them. It was a group running to 16 at 6 a.m., and it was a bunch of bananas and then a gorilla. So that was the best. The gorilla chasing the bananas. So that was probably the best.
And what is your sort of little kid sports fantasy? Keegan Bradley was just in here saying that all the cheering and rowdiness makes him feel like he's at Fenway Park, and that was his little kid dream, to be at Fenway Park. What would your little kid dream be?
Man, that's a great question. I guess I don't. So I didn't. Growing up in Oklahoma, pro sports is not. College is king, right? And so I didn't have like a pro team of any sport, even though I follow all sports closely. I mean, for me, honestly, it's like Lambeau. Like, I don't know why, but that's the closest I can compare to. Just like it's iconic in its own way, and so that's how this place is.
Do you have to prepare yourself mentally for this week, or do you just sort of how do you get into that mind frame?
Yeah, I mean, you know what you're gonna get. We all love it, but I think we all love that it's not a weekly thing because it's draining. It's a lot. It's a lot of energy, and when you're trying to calm your emotions, it's just not the most conducive environment for that. So it's a blast. It's a sprint this week, and we love it.
You mentioned calming your emotions. We've had guys talk about bringing yourself down from a high and also getting yourself up when you're struggling. Which is more difficult for you?
Coming down from a high, for sure. Like once I get going, my adrenaline is through the roof, and it takes a lot to get that, anchored back down. So, we all watch Tiger growing up, and we see these spurts of fist bumps and everything, and that was what was so amazing about him was he could do all that and then jump right back into play the next shot. So we all aspire to have that kind of capability.
You mentioned 7 under bogey free today. When you compare and contrast with yesterday's round, what was it? Just hitting the ball better, conditions better earlier in the day? What contributed?
Yeah, made some putts. That's obviously a huge thing. I made really no putts outside of 5 or 6 feet yesterday, and so when you make a few putts out here, you kind of get some momentum going. That's the, it's a putt here or there really that makes difference between a 1, 2 under and a 6 or 7 under. Just that momentum that it brings you.
Awesome.
Hey, how's it going, man? Greg Moore, Arizona Republic. Writing more so to a general audience, people in Arizona maybe who've never been to the tournament, people who don't know that they're golf fans yet. And I was struck the first time I came out here 5, 6 years ago, there's 2 cactus right off the first tee. And they're all pockmarked and scarred
All the golf
up.
balls in them.
You've noticed.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me what you see when you see that, and what do you think about? Because I can't imagine you could think about that, right?
Yeah, so a couple things. One, that it has to be hit pretty hard to actually go into it. So I would say more of those are intentional than unintentional, because if it's that far offline and it still is hard enough to stick in the cactus, I don't know how that math works. But no, it's always it makes you chuckle every time. I've had a few friends over the years that we've come out, made some trips to Scottsdale, and I bring them out here, and every single guy I bring out here says the same thing. They notice that. They're like, God, look at all those golf balls in that cactus.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Thanks, Taylor.
Yeah.